Believe it or not, I'm actually a Vin Diesel fan, so I wonder, what would Vin Diesel wear for this review? Oh yeah, he definitely wears something like this. I don't have a white tank top. I need to find one of those. What's going on, you guys? James here with another real review, and today I'm talking all about Vin Diesel's latest film, Bloodshot, based off a best-selling comic book that I've never even read or heard of. It's definitely a movie. But before I hop into that, if this is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James. Now if you're wondering who that is, that's me, and I love talking all about films, so I go ahead and drop a video each and every day. You're not going to want to miss out. Go ahead and hit the big red button below and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to tap on the bell right next to it, just to stay up to date with anything new that drops. If you like news, reactions, of course more reviews, I got you covered, I promise. I just dropped my review for Wendy, the latest reimagining of Peter Pan. It's bad, but the review is awesome. I still have a couple more big movies to watch this week with one review that I can publish because, you know, embargoes are important. I'm seeing The Hunt this week, and I'm excited to talk to you guys about a movie that was definitely delayed due to some controversy last year, but we'll hop into that in the actual review. As for this movie, Bloodshot, y'all, it is, oh boy, it's not even a mixed bag. I know exactly what kind of movie it is, and let's just talk about it. If you're just like me and you know nothing about Bloodshot, Vin Diesel plays this super soldier type of guy who's really good at what he does and is taken advantage of by a company. He is now turned into this genetically modified human being who's kind of like a cyborg and is designed to destroy anything in its way. And eventually this guy becomes a little bit smarter, realizing someone's controlling him from the inside, and it's his job now to figure out why it's happening and to stop it from happening to someone else. That's about as spoiler-free as I can give you with the synopsis. So let's dive into why this movie is okay. You can see it in my face, right? I'm struggling to talk about how this movie might be enjoyable a little bit. And all of that happened in the first half. Vin Diesel, Eiza, González, and Lamorne Morris have the most chemistry together. And yeah, they're fun, don't get me wrong, and that happens throughout the course of the film. The problem is the bad writing gets in the way most of the time. Actually, all of the time. But there are moments where Vin Diesel is, well, good. And I like Vin Diesel, don't get me wrong. He's an amazing action star. But Eiza González compliments him well because she grounds the movie. There's some decent bits of acting, but it's nothing that you're gonna really come away from and say, wow, my mind is blown. I mean, it might get blown for other reasons, but definitely not for acting. Oh, and if you're wondering, yes, this movie covers the bases with Vin Diesel's outfits. He wears a white tank top, a black tank top, a jacket, and also a t-shirt. Literally, those are his uniforms. Oh, and he's a soldier in the beginning of the movie. That's probably new. I was surprised. So like I said, the first half is really enjoyable to a degree. There's this tech that they introduce in the film. I think it's fun. It looks cool, and I love the little nanite technology that is in Vin Diesel's blood. RST is the company responsible for it, and I'm guessing in the comics they dive into a bit more of how they got this tech, but we just get things thrown at us in this film, and you're supposed to believe everything. So Vin Diesel's character is able to regenerate. Essentially, he gets cut, and these nanites come and they heal his arm. It's interesting. Reminds me a lot about Wolverine, you know how Wolverine can self-heal. It's borrowing from a lot of different elements, but it's not awful. And then there's this elevator sequence in the second half of the movie that was really fun to watch because the movie at that point cared nothing about whether you like it or you don't. It's going off the wall. It's totally crazy. And none of it is believable, of course, but the movie is fun in that regard when it doesn't really try to be bigger than itself. The only issue is 99% of this movie tries to be bigger than itself. And unfortunately, a lot of the problems start with the writing in this movie. Eric Hesser wrote the script for Arrival, and what's crazy is that I didn't even know he was attached to this project, but when I saw his name, I thought, all right, this is interesting. The only problem is he's writing it alongside Jeff Wadlow, and Jeff Wadlow did Truth or Dare, which isn't awful, but he's done some really bad movies. But you put both of them together, and I figured, okay, Arrival, Truth or Dare, you'll probably find yourself in the middle. But no, the writing is really bad. I think every bit of dialogue here is incredibly wooden, forced, and awfully generic. There's nothing about this movie that made me think, okay, there's a better film in here somewhere, because to be honest, the movie itself is just really bad. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it in any way, but outside of the generic characters, there's There's a lot of moments where you think, okay, this movie's not trying to be different, it's just doing things for no reason. An actor who doesn't do a great job in this movie is Pearce, even though I really like him in a ton of roles. Trust me, the guy's been in better things than this. His character is really just your bad guy number one, essentially. He doesn't do much for me. He tries to be different. I think the writers tried to make him different, but no. He plays this evil scientist, this mad scientist, and it didn't come across very genuine to me. And it's like, Pearce, do you really need to be in this movie? It's like he's not picking good roles, and I don't know why he's doing this. And I know I mentioned this a little while ago, but Bloodshot has a lot of moments, big moments, that are just explained through dialogue, and if they are shown to you, it's almost so jarring that the rest of the movie feels a little off-centered. I just don't understand why half of these events happen, but they just do to move the plot along. It's flawed in many ways, trust me. But hey, I can't expect Oscar-level quality writing from anything. The acting is not great, I didn't expect that either. And if you're asking, yes, I came in with incredibly low expectations, but they actually weren't met. And that's a problem. Oh, and how could I forget? This movie tries to be so self-aware that it even has lines in here about cheesy action movies. This is a very cheesy action movie. The problem is, when you're self-aware and it's not funny, when I'm not laughing, yeah, that's a problem. And I know I said the tech was pretty cool in the first half of the movie, but eventually this whole nanite technology, I just don't buy it. It's trying to be highbrow sci-fi sometimes, and it's really not. Now, I know this is based off a comic book that is a bestseller, I guess, is very well known by some fans, but I'd imagine they have more time to explain some things, and in the movie, they rush through a lot of avenues, and it makes for a really anticlimactic end. Yes, the movie plays to a ton of different action tropes and puts Vin Diesel in cars. Yeah, they're capitalizing on the whole Fast and Furious thing, trust me. The thing is, I just can't tell you that I really enjoyed my time all the way through with Bloodshot. So overall, Bloodshot is a movie that really tries to be bigger than itself in moments, and then it comes down, trying to be self-aware again, but it doesn't work because the movie just keeps bouncing between two highs and two lows, and it doesn't work. It might actually be worth like a Saturday morning matinee if you're incredibly bored out of your mind. But honestly, you can keep this one as your free movie purchase on an airplane if there's literally nothing else, or if it comes on Netflix and somehow is on legal streaming services. I think Vin Diesel really does find passion in almost every project he does, so he bleeds through as genuine. So does Eiza González and Lamorne Morris. But everybody else seems to be on a different page. It's almost like they are just paid to be there, which they are, of course, but that's the extent of their efforts, is like, hey, I'm on set, give me a script. Okay, let's just do it. A lot of money was spent in the special effects department, but see, here's the thing. You can add polish to anything that you want, but if underneath the surface the foundation is rotten, it's gonna seep through to the top. And that's what happened in Bloodshot, especially towards the middle of the film. So while Bloodshot might not be the worst movie that I'm gonna see this year, it's definitely not a film that I can tell you is above that mediocre level. It's very generic, and unfortunately, even the action is something that we've seen before. Alrighty, you guys, well, there you have it. That's my take on Bloodshot, a movie that you can definitely just pass. Don't pay full price for this, please don't do it. If you enjoyed everything you just heard and saw, go ahead and hit the big red button below, and again, don't forget to tap on that notification bell. Like this video, share it with your friends, and in the comments below, you guys, let me know what you think when you see it. Are you excited for this? Are you a big Vin Diesel fan? It's okay, I mean, I am too. This movie is just so disappointing. Also, if you see this and you're incredibly confused about a certain sequence that involves the song Psycho Killer and a certain type of alcohol, trust me, you can talk to me about it. Like I said, I'm dropping a review for The Hunt this week, and I am seeing another movie that I can't talk about just yet, but I'm excited to definitely share that review with you when it's time. Alrighty, you guys, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.